G'day everyone, Eric here. So, those new aerial bots, They seem quite divisive. I was actually taken aback by how many YouTubers I was getting in my feed really going to bat for Hasbro on this one. Even Chris Jam, someone I occasionally watch, said he couldn't understand why you'd prefer Combiner Wars Superion over the new Age of the Primes Superion. So, let's talk about it. Presumably over 2025 and 2026, Hasbro will be releasing the aerial bots and apparently the Combaticons, utilising the same design ethos as the Legacy Stunticons, where instead of replicating the Scramble City play button, the team leader will come with an accessory that becomes the frame of the combined mode. Well, maybe that's overstating what the toy actually does. It might be more accurate to say the accessory becomes the combiner, and you slot in the 5 members to fill in the details. This style of combiner is lifted from a third-party Menasor set from Magic Square called Highway Overlord. It's not unusual for Hasbro to lift transformations or concepts from third-party, and I don't blame them. Copyright infringement and all that. But it does lean into my belief that the Transformers team cannot create, only replicate. Nevertheless, this style of combiner sets out to do a very specific job, and I think it does it quite well. It pushes out most everything related to combining to the side for the sake of cartoon accuracy. As I said earlier, it doesn't really combine so much as the accessory absorbs the robots to complete the look, and that's very achievable versus what combiners traditionally do, with every toy having 3 to 4 modes. It also removes the necessity for external accessories for hands and feet and chests, as they are built into the larger accessory, although third-party toys have managed that too. Menasor managed to pull this off quite well, due to the nature of Motormaster being a cab over truck with a trailer. While traditionally the truck becomes the boots, with the trailer being the real robot, having that bulk built into the design to become the combined form is really convenient. Motormaster became just the cab, while Menasor's frame was formed by the trailer. The design just flows together naturally. Shame the same can't be said of Silverbolt and Superion. Silverbolt, like most plain Transformers, already has a lot of compromises in its transformation. It doesn't so much transform into a jet as much as it folds up, and the jet parts on its back unfold, producing a jet with a robot underneath. It's understandable, jets are largely flat, and the necessary complexity would need a matching budget, not to mention price, but it is what it is. The solution Hasbro's designers found was to replicate Motormaster, essentially give Silverbolt an extension to his vehicle mode. It makes it very fantastical, and the added bulk makes Silverbolt's shortcomings worse. But besides that, why was this their solution? The original Silverbolt toy could turn into a base form, complete with a spring-loaded action feature for the Japanese version, where land-based limbs for the rest of the Scramble City combiners could be launched, much like Optimus Prime's trailer. While the spring-loaded action feature would be gutted, I feel an accessory harkening back to this function would have better suited Silverbolt. Some type of ski ramp for the aerial bots that could also become the original ramp for the other limbs. All of that aside, I think we can safely say that Onslaught and Hotspot, potentially Scattershot and Hunger down the line, would employ the same system, and it does work. It looks as cartoon accurate as can be expected, and by that, I mean it's pretty dead on. Saying that, the system also removes the very reason for why the original toys look and function the way they do. The limitless combination play pattern, Scramble City, the ability for the smaller robots to form the limbs of the combined form and be swapped between them. Now, I'm not sure how much the full play pattern was ever used by anyone. Even the ability for the limbs to swap positions isn't really used in media outside of Japan's Operation Combination in 1992, but this play pattern informs the designs of all of these toys, Metroplex and Triptychon too. It's not dissimilar to how removing the Minicon functionality from the Armada remakes removes their identity, as their forms too are informed by their play pattern. Without that functionality, they only look the way they do because the original did, regardless of whether that constitutes a good design or even a workable design with the modern generation design ethos. After the initial hype for Menasor died down, I think it really started to sink in for the more toy-orientated people that for all of the compromises necessary for Scramble City type combiners, the play pattern itself is a lot of the appeal for these characters. History has been very unkind to Combiner Wars. Initially beloved and garnering excitement, it became derided as the years went on. Toys being designed for a retool rather than the character people were actually excited for, too many mold reuses, and the plastic quality at the time being common criticisms. For many years, Titan's Returns was considered the only good part of Prime Wars according to the fandom. Now we have people going back to Combiner Wars Superion and stating it to be superior to their upcoming Age Superion, largely because of that play pattern. They prefer a Scramble City style combiner over the screen accurate frame style combiner because of the experience Scramble City provides. I think the argument for the superior Superion is, in all honesty, rather silly. Both sets are trying to achieve very different goals. The Age Superion is trying to be cartoon accurate, while Combiner Wars Superion is modernising Scramble City. Despite being the same set of characters, I don't think they're really comparable, and whichever one could be deemed as better is whatever's better for your collection and your sensibilities. If you like toys like I do, Combiner Wars is perfectly satisfactory. You can look past all the compromises and issues these toys have because to achieve what they are trying to achieve at their budget, it's necessary. If you're looking for a screen-accurate shelf of mass retail toys, then Age Superion is perfect. Looks the part in combined form, as does each individual robot. Sure, it doesn't combine, but if you're that focused on animation accuracy, why do you really care? It becomes purely a formality at a certain point. This debate isn't a zero-sum game. Both camps have been catered to, and if you missed out on Combiner Wars, it was nearly a decade ago now, I'm sure there are going to be many affordable sets up on the secondary market rather soon, and there are many decent bootleg sets out there. You'll be fine. As I said last week, you're collecting for your own enjoyment, not to impress anyone, not to make them happy or validate their opinions. Simply saying, I like what the older one was doing more, and I am content with it. Or, I like what the new one is doing because it fits my collection better, are both perfectly reasonable takes. Critiquing the toys is also perfectly fine. I'm just saying, try to have perspective and understand what the designer is going for. Remember that no toy company expects you to buy everything. They just try to make something for everyone. Not every toy was designed with you in mind. Only some. If you enjoyed today's video and want more Transformers content, be sure to like and subscribe. It helps out the channel a lot. Till next time, friends, this has been Eric from Toys Down Under, and thanks for watching.